Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I'm going to be giving my thoughts on Tenchi Muyo Ryo-Ohki OVA 5 Episode 2. Um, I think this episode was better than the first episode of this season. I still think it was pretty dull. There was a few fun moments in it, which I'll get to here in a minute, but overall my feelings are it's still just exposition, the show. Um, and instead of being a show about Tenchi and the girls in the house, it has become sort of a way to connect all of Kajishima's other stuff. Um, anyway, I got a list of things here, and I'm going to go through them. Before I do that, last episode I had a complaint where it's like, first half was just uh, these two people talking here, and the second half was just a few people talking here. It's still just a lot of people talking, but this episode at least varies it up. So, the episode starts on a ship. I can't remember what ship it was off the top of my head. I think it was just like Seina's ship. Um, so we start there, and it has Seina's harem talking about getting a house on Earth, which was discussed in the last episode. And we also have them sort of discussing that uh, Earth, you can only have one wife, or at least in Japan. So Kiriko will probably end up being Seina's wife on Earth. And also in this scene, we start seeing characters from Duel Parallel Trouble Adventure, which is another show that Kajishima made back in the 90s, which I like a lot. And he, through the GXP novels, has sort of brought some of those characters back, and we're starting to see them here. Though slightly different, because I think, from what I understand, how they were brought back is that the Earth from Duel is from millions of years ago, and is the current Earth is different. They're not the same Earth, and I assume that it was just sort of like a Chosen thing where they're like, okay, Earth was kind of interesting, so let's just copy that and put it here. Because they were doing, or Tokimi especially was doing all kinds of experiments, so that might just be something that she did. But anyway, so Seina is the reincarnation of the main character from Duel, and then Fuku, which is the Cabot, is the reincarnation of a character called Yayoi. And then in this scene here, with everyone talking in the ship, we see Miki, who is a reincarnation of, I don't remember her last name, but one of the Mitsukis. So we talk about moving to Earth, and then that's like the first 4 or 5 minutes. Next scene is something that I was completely lost when we got there. We get a new character called Kuis, Kuis. She's from the GXP novels. I've seen illustrations of her. I don't know anything about her character. So I don't know what was going on in the scene at all. It was basically her and Seto being questioned by Ringo, I guess. All I know is Ringo is in charge of like finances for Seto, and she was upset because they spent money, I guess. Uh, anyway, that part of the episode completely over my head. Next, we go back to Earth, and it has, what was it? Kiriko, Karen, I believe, the red-haired Seto Scout, talking with Nobuyuki, who is going to be building the house for them. And during this, they bring up discussion of sort of making, in Jirai, there are many houses, right? There's the Masaki house, there's the, I forget, Seto, Kamiki house, things like that. There are different little houses for everyone, and so they brought up making a Earth Masaki house, which would have Tenchi and his harem and all them, and Seina and his harem and their kids and stuff, sort of forming their own. I don't know what to call it, but basically, sort of separating themselves from Jirai, kind of. Um, anyway, I don't know what this will have to do with anything later on, other than just set up basically that they're going to live on Earth forever. I don't know. It could be neat if they do something with it. I don't really know what they'll do, if anything, with it, though. Anyway, next up, we start talking about Paradise War. Again, like I said, the OVAs now are just about sort of connecting all of Kajishima's other stuff. Duel is now connected. GXP novels are now connected. The first few OVA seasons are now connected, and next we got to start bringing in stuff from Paradise War, which is set after GXP and stuff. So basically, from what I got from this episode, there are a bunch of pirates, a bunch of space pirates that Sena did not arrest or something like that. And basically, I believe Seto is trying to get them to form their own country. So they are putting a artificial island on Earth, having a representative from each of those pirate groups sent down to fight to see who will rule over the country they make. I don't know. That sounds fun. I want to watch that show instead of set up for that show. But I don't know. That sounds like it could be neat. Unfortunately, the Paradise War novels are not in English, so I don't really know much else about it. But I know next episode we're going to see some of those characters. And it also explains why Sena was there. Because in the illustrations we see Sena and some of the Cabots, which are the reincarnations of the Duel Girls. Next, we've got... Yep. Fuku. We see Fuku animated for the first time, I think. I don't think she was in the last episode. I just wanted to say, I love Fuku's, adult design. I think it's the best design in the whole series. I don't know what it... I like her hair, I like her outfit, I like her hat. I think she's cute. She's my favorite design in the whole show. Somehow, 30 years after the fact, Kajishima made my favorite design. I like all the other designs, but I don't know, something about hers I really like. Next up, we see sort of more Ryo-Ohki and Kenchi playing together, because at this point in time, Kenchi is still a kid. We see some of their tag game, which was explained in a doujin that Kajishima did, or basically to train Kenchi to go to Geminar, they basically had him play with Ryo-Ohki, who is a incredibly intelligent spaceship. So they would play like hide and seek and stuff like that. Or it started as tag and eventually became hide and seek, and he would always lose because she's a spaceship with like a very powerful computer in it. We get a brief look at that. And then we see Kenshi and Ryo-Ohki go with Tenchi to the carrot fields. And then he senses a space pirate. He goes into space. He uses his god powers to envelop them in some Lighthawk wings. And that's it. In the trailer, I saw the trailer, and it felt like they were kind of hyping it up. It's like, oh, hey, a battle, finally. And it's just sort of nothing. I don't know. It was neat to see Tenchi do something, but it just makes me wish that we had seen him sort of learn how to use these powers. I know people have a problem with him being like a god or whatever. I just want to see him learn. There's so much stuff that we skipped in between where we are now and at the end of OVA 3. I want to see, in GXP anime, we see him running as fast as Sena is riding his bike. I want to see him learning to do that. I want to see that. That could have been an OVA. That could have been a 6-episode OVA. And it would have been fun. And it wouldn't have just been exposition. But anyway. And then at the very end, we see a few things from the War on Geminar anime. We see Kenchi and Ryo-Ohki standing by the lake and seeing Ryo-Ohki the ship come out of it, which we briefly have Kenchi talk about in the Geminar anime. And we also see Washu hypnotizing him with the coin, which is also from the anime, which is fun. I like Geminar a lot, and I like Ryo-Ohki and Kenchi a lot. I think they're really fun, and I kind of want... my hope is that next episode, I believe, is going to be Paradise War stuff. I want just an episode of Kenchi and Ryo-Ohki, because that doujin of them playing together is a lot of fun, and I want to see that. That could be a fun episode. It doesn't seem like it would be too expensive if you do it right. Also, animation in this episode is about on par. with the first episode, maybe a little bit better. I'm going to say a lot of it better, actually. Now that I'm remembering that first episode and how little we actually animated anything, it's a little bit better. But yeah, this episode was okay, a step up from the first episode, and that's about it. It's still sort of dull, not too bad. Like, I was interested for a lot of this stuff, not so much the Kuis stuff, but it was okay. By the time this video goes up, episode 3 should be out, so maybe I'll try and get to that soon. Or maybe I'll stick to uploading them right before or right after the next episode. I don't know. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.